Hi everybody, welcome to this Pro and Expert General playthrough for the Sunshine Links tournament here on the BK Golf Clash YouTube channel. Hope you're doing well. Please hit thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you haven't done so already. Both of those are free to do so and help me out on YouTube a lot in terms of helping to provide free content. Replays and adjustments, general wind directions for all 9 holes. There are some tricky ones here but some good opportunities mixed in as well. Timestamps in the description down below. Remember to tweak according to your club's balls and play style, and bear in mind we have old shots here, so they are before the ball attribute level changes, which of course are now doubled in the game because they go from 0 to 10. Remember to check the channel homepage for more division content for this tournament when the week commences. Good luck, here we go. Onto this par 4, we're going to send it from the NMT position. I'm moving up directly in a vertical line to the top of plus 24 with APOC 5 and above. You would need to go to P5 max rest with APOC 4, so that's plus 30 I believe. 5.8 top spin, 1 right spin, and then we adjust max plus 10. Might need a tweak or two depending on wind angle and wind strength, so it's always advisable to take a token or two if you've got a couple of power 5 balls to spare. Like I said, doesn't need to be the sawgrass ball. You can play with the berserker if you want to. Max plus 10 P5 takes us to around plus 2 with APOC 5 and above, so you're going to have a really slow needle. It would be very smooth even with a berserker. No curl, full overpower, hit perfect, bouncing on the fairway here and into the rough, over the water, and we're getting a nice roll out for a very simple wedge for our eagle. Here we're going to bounce over with a sniper and always a side spin 3 ball. Adding just before half a bar of top spin and 3 right spin. I'm having the red ring touching the rough, and then the white ring is actually touching that darker rough there on the right. And we're aiming there with the ball guide onto the green, even with the side spin 3 ball. Then we need to play with right curl as well here. Max plus 10 is the adjustment. The alternatives, you can bounce beyond the rough with backspin, either with the sniper or the guardian, depending on your wind direction. You can play a sniper rough bump as well, but beware, there are still a little moment or two of fringe glitches here, so be careful you don't catch a fringe glitch if you're playing for the rough bump. 3/4 ball right curl bouncing over very nicely here, and unfortunately my only issue here is that I've got too much topspin on. Brilliant line, but it's coming in too hot, but that gives you an idea of a very nice and safe bounce over on this par 3. But as I said, several routes to consider here. You've got to pick what suits you best and what is best for the wind angle that you're going to be facing. Par 5 here, and I'm going to bounce directly over to the fairway that you see here in this crosswind scenario. Little bit of topspin and 2 bars side spin to the left. I'm playing with a Titan, obviously. If you want to reduce the wind a little bit further, then Kingmaker is good. APOC 5 is just going to reach over there. If you have lower power drivers, you will need to stretch out, and then once you've adjusted, push up the right number of rings. We are just going to be okay here with our max plus 10 adjustment. I'm going with a little bit of overpower to make sure that I do make it over, because we do adjust in this instance to a lower point. Half a ball of curl to the left, and we are going to clear nicely and roll down the fairway. This is a narrow fairway, so beware of great balls left and right. We don't want to be in the rough. I'd rather play safe and just find the centre of that fairway rather than push it too far. 346 yards here is going to leave a shot with our sniper. Now we do have a slight headwind angle here, so I'm going to back up a little bit before I add my spin. And here I'm adding top spin, a little bit of side spin to the left, and I'm going to aim just at the pin here with the ball guide. As you can see, it does glitch around a little bit here, so this is a tricky one to get the speed right, but you've still got a chance at an albatross on this par 5. The adjustment I make here in this crosswind is max distance, 5% elevation. Max plus 5 just takes me into overpower there, so I'm going to put a little bit of overpower on. The alternative is, though, of course, to go with more topspin and set up further back from max distance. Perfect ball away, and this one does bounce very nicely and rolls to the pin with a good speed, but just coming in a little bit to the right, so maybe 10% would have been a better adjustment. in that scenario. On this hole, you either need to go with a power hook, aiming way to the right of this stretch of fairway, which I'm aiming on now, or you need to go with a max curl shot with APOC 4 and above, which I'm doing here for you. 5 top spin, 3 bars side spin to the left. The important thing here is you need to tighten up your approach here. There is not as much room on the right hand side of the green as there used to be. Max plus 10 is the adjustment. Then I'm going to go with max curl with APOC 4, it's about 2 1/4 ball of curl, and I'm going with 2 rings of overpower. With a power 3 ball, I would be able to reduce that amount of overpower, but it's still a slowish needle. Bouncing comfortably here, but we've got to be careful here of not going too far right. Just look at that one. We are only a little distance away from the roughs. The par 3s on this course are very tricky, and here is one of them right now. This one is the easiest of the par 3s, but it still is difficult to drop, and you will need to have a couple of looks at the holes here with the different wind directions, especially on these par 3s, to get dialed in, or at least close. Setting up a max distance with a katana here, blue ring touching the rough, playing with some left spin so that I do not risk the rough on the left. And then I'm going to adjust this one, max plus 40. Varying ways you can play this hole. You can set up with the ball guide to the hole, play with more elevation, or you can play with less elevation and then have to offset. The choice is yours, this one, but it is a very tricky hole. Quarterback is your friend in headwind scenarios. You will bounce on the second fairway, the one that is connected to the green. Nice speed there, but we just need to adjust a little bit more there to get that one to drop. Here on this par 5, we're going to play with the rock, 4 bars of top spin, and we're going to aim at the tip of the fairway up ahead on the left, top of plus 4 with the rock level 8, top of plus 3 with the rock level 9, and then we're going to adjust max plus 10 power 3 settings. This is a safe eagle play. Obviously the albatross is on, but you need to be much more aggressive on the second shot, and I would consider you would have to really play with a luminary to be within a good chance, because there will be a little bit more headwind angle on the angle towards the pin. Perfect ball away, and we just want to get towards the end of the fairway without risking the rough, which we do here. Minor greats should still be fine. 330 yards is decent. Second shot, you will need your Cataclysm or Big Dog, and we're going to go with 5.5 top spin, 2 left spin to begin with. Find a position here with the ball guide just clipping the rough, aiming as shown away from the pin. You can count the green square rows or columns if you want a better reference. Then I respin, keep the top spin, and change to half a bar of left spin rather than 2. It will look like you're going to miss really to the left, but the wind is going to push us in nicely, and you will clip the rough and roll out onto the green, all being well, providing you, of course, set the shot up correctly and hit perfect. For a +2 landing position, going to play 75% slider, 5% elevation, it's 2.5% per yard. If your landing position is +4, from a shorter drive you play 80%, and so on. Try and hit perfect here. Great left might cause you some issues with the bunker, so bear that in mind. Perfect ball away though. The top spin will grab very nicely, and the wind will push us towards the rough, into the rough, and rolling out on the green, safely on the green for an eagle putt on this long par 5. And now we come to another par 4, and going to go with the Kingmaker here and the Apocalypse, playing aggressively here in the tailwind that we do have. Obviously if we get a bit more headwind, then we're just going to bounce ourselves over to the fairway on the right, which is just off camera. But tailwind, you can either go full blast with a Berserker and go right over there, over the water to the green, or as I'm doing here, you can just bounce over and set up a grizzly shot instead. Max +10 here, bouncing in the centre of that strip of fairway with the right spin that we have, going to add a little bit of right curl as well to make sure we find the final piece of fairway before the water. Half a ball of curl to the right, perfect ball away, and we can actually use yardage notes if we do play this approach for our long iron. So just bounce nicely on the fairway here. Drive distance on this one is 362 yards. From there, going to play with the Grizzly using yardage notes. And I'm using here 34% slider and 10% elevation. Applying backspin. And then we are going to set up here with the ball guide just short of the pin, or at least to the front edge of the cup, because we do have tailwind angle on this one. The Grizzly is very good. We do want the accuracy and the ball guide. So a little bit of backspin, and then, as I said, playing this one 34% slider, 10% elevation. And then we are going to take our shot, and we do have a good chance with this approach. So if you don't want to spend a berserker, don't want to go full blast and risk the sand or the water or the rough, then this is, I believe, a very reliable approach in this wind angle and offers a good chance. Hole in one here, we're going to play from the P3 min line with our sniper, with the red ring touching the rough. Then we're going to add spin, and I'm going with 1.4 backspin, so a light 1.5, no side spin, offset there deliberately left of the pin. You can add spin with a basic ball if you want to before finding the min line, just to make sure you've got no accidental side, but if not, it doesn't matter. Min plus 30, power 3 numbers. Even with the wind angle variation, you shouldn't be pulling into the min line at all here, because it is a fair few degrees off level crosswind with this orientation of the hole. Bouncing very nicely though there. Second bounce at the start of the fringe, and we're falling nicely for the hole in one. If you are enjoying the free content here on the channel and want to help out and keep everything free, then please consider making a small donation. All donations are gratefully received and help me out here on the channel, as all of the content here is produced for free in my own spare time. You can do that in one of three ways. You can hit the thanks button here on YouTube, you can make a PayPal donation via the link in the description down below, or you can also join us over on Patreon. Details at the end of the video. On the drive here, we're going to play right hand side in this example. You could go down the middle of the hole as well though, both valid routes. You decide which is best. 5.8 top spin, 3 right spin, APOC favoured for the curl on this one. Red ring touching the rough with APOC 5 and above. At plus 10, APOC 4 you'd be fine here, you'd be at P3 max rest with 20% of the red ring overlapping the rough. Maximum distance, 10% elevation. In this wind angle I'm going with 2 balls of curl to the right. You might need less curl if you've got wind from left to right though, of course. And then we're hitting perfect. Bouncing very comfortably on the pad here. It will need a bit of overpower in headwind scenarios, but like I said, you've also got the central route if you don't fancy the more risky drive to the right. However, in my opinion, the right-hand route gives you the best chance at the albatross. Could have pushed the drive a little bit further, but still, even with that drive, we've got a good chance of dropping this one. Spins are going to vary here depending on the wind angle, of course. I'm offsetting deliberately right and short of the pin to compensate for the wind push. Any headwind, of course, you want the ball guide through the hole. Tailwind, direct tailwind, you're going to need it short by about 2 to 3 green squares, depending on the wind strength, of course. In this example here, I'm at max distance of my club. I adjust to max plus 5, and this is going to come in very nicely. It's a good demonstration of the type of shot you might want to go with. If we were in a tournament scenario here, it would have needed a little bit of a tweak to the ball guide, but just showing you've got a very clear route down the right-hand side following a successful drive. Very good chance to get an albatross here on this par 5. Thanks very much for watching this video here on the channel. If it has helped you in any way, please consider sharing it amongst your friends and clanmates in the game. Join us also on Facebook. Head over there, search for BK Golf Clash and join our free group. Loads of members there sharing shots. Free guides are posted, as well as loads of other great Golf Clash resources. So check us out there. You can join in the discussion and also leave feedback on the game in general. Finally, if you wish to help support the channel and keep the content free for everybody, please consider becoming a Patreon member. The link is in the video description down below. Good luck, see you soon, bye for now.